Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be giving you my Libra July 2019 horoscope forecast, part 2 of 2. And yes, this does apply and pertain to the Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. Anyway, first thing up is as far as July goes, Venus will be in Leo from the 18th until the 31st, so the 11th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. At this time, this could be about spending extravagantly on friends, acquaintances, um, perhaps your future, even your goals, your aspirations, even stepchildren, if applicable in some cases. This could be a time too, if you're unattached at this time, Libra, you may connect with a Leo, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Leo traits. It could be at a group, a club, an organization. It could be a friend where it evolves into something stronger. Also, too, this could be about valuing a lot of courage, fortitude, generosity, pride, dignity, self-assuredness, confidence, and extroversion in group-related matters, matters with clubs, organizations, matters with your friends, stepchildren even, and also too, and also perhaps a lot of that self-assuredness and confidence in attaining goals and aspirations at this time. So anyway, and perhaps even making money from a business that you may have if applicable. So it could also be about enjoying Leo things with friends. It could be like playing a guitar hero or doing something connected with entertainment, showing off your abilities. Could be sports. Golf could be one good example. Perhaps anything that could be a Leo related. So anyway, next thing up. Well, Mars will be in Leo, so the 11th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted at this time. This could be a lot of really ferocious, angry outbursts, perhaps at friends, perhaps acquaintances you may know, even stepchildren in some cases. Now, when you're talking about Mars and Leo, this could be about, I got to be careful too, this could be about very strong propensity for a lot of fire and a lot of, and heat, especially if you're in a hot climate anyway. And you're talking about Mars, and then you're combining Leo with it. So it's a lot of fire. It could be a lot of excessive heat in certain places at this time, and dehydration levels can be higher, more prominent than usual. So just be careful if you're doing any activities with your friends, with acquaintances, and groups that require uh, a lot of really a lot of activity in the heat, and where you might be, you got to be careful of overexertion. So anyway, and it could also be a time too, if you're unattached at this time, Libra, that you may connect with Leo, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant person. That may be, it could be for sexual liaison. It could be a friend that maybe escalates into something different, or somebody you might know at some group, club, or organization. Also, too, this could be about putting a lot of energy and vitality into Leo aspirations. It could be like becoming a cardiologist, something with entertainment, game design, golf, something with the circus, something maybe doing some work with children or creativity, and also about putting a lot of inexorable energy into one's future, social media and social networking at this time as well. And there might be more confrontations than usual, perhaps with friends, with acquaintances. It might be over being demoralized or demeaned. So anyway, next thing up, Jupiter will still be in Sagittarius, so the third house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now, as I talked about previously, Jupiter can be rather paradoxical. It's strongly benign and benevolent, but could also have a tendency to enlarge and expand. Now, in a lot of cases, this might enlarge and expand rather foolhardy, self-righteous, over-optimistic, even reckless behavior, perhaps with cousins, neighbors, siblings, and maybe even in your dealings with them. This could also be very lucky and fortuitous, for perhaps it could be doing something connected with perhaps publishing at this time, maybe with a sibling or a cousin or a neighbor, someone that's prominent you may know in short journeys. It could also be very positive for very jocular and jovial communications, and perhaps a lot of hope and optimism through religious communications at this time. And it could also be about prosperity in connection with Sagittarius siblings, cousins, neighbors. It could be people that that might be Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant people, or simply ones that embody Sagittarius characteristics. This could also be very positive for short journeys as well, and expressing a lot of benevolence through them, because what you get out of life a lot of times is what you put into it. And by expressing this, it could be about getting some reciprocation, so such as helping people out with errands to the store. So anyway, next thing up, Saturn will still be in Capricorn, so the fourth house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now, at this time, you might experience certain limitations and restrictions in matters with home, your family life, your emotional security. In some cases, too, this could manifest in taking care of a sickly home or family member, someone you're close to home with, the less dominant parent, which is often the mother. It could be something Capricorn related, such as the knees, the bones, the joints, hamstrings, and it could be something that might be making you feel somewhat despondent and melancholy. It could also be about putting a lot of structure and discipline in your home life at this time. And also too, this could be a time where you might be feeling somewhat despondent or dejected who you are at the core, but at the same time, on a positive note, this could also manifest in taking responsibility for a lot of premeditation and planning for that end or latter part of life if you're not already in it. Older people might figure more prominently in foundations at this time, your traditions, and also too, this could be about taking care of some serious business on the home front, and also about perhaps Saturn/Capricorn type foundations, such as perhaps discipline and structure, being responsible and consistent, and being rational. Next thing up, Uranus will be in Taurus still, so the 8th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now, at this time, you might experience, in some isolated cases, could be about some unusual, unanticipated, could be like a throat or neck surgery, or something connected with the ankles or the shins. It could be at this time that astrology, the internet, computers in general, might be involved in some major transformation you may go through. You might be dealing with certain unusual, stubborn, or obstinate behavior from people you're in an intimate or sexual relationship with, somebody in a shared resources situation. The moral, emotional, and monetary support you may be receiving may be somewhat erratic and sporadic at this time. And also Taurus friendships, that could be Taurus, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant people, or simply ones that embody Taurus characteristics, might figure more prominently perhaps in making a major change or transformation. It could be moral, monetary support, even crisis situations, and whether they're beneficial or whether they're to your detriment could be, especially in the crisis situations, a lot of that could be predicated and dependent on the aspects this makes to points in your chart. An adverse aspect to your natal Jupiter, for example, might show that that they might actually be making maybe a crisis situation worse, or adverse aspect to your natal Mars might be doing something crisis related that might be causing a lot of anger and acrimony on your part. So some cases, though, on a positive note, this could manifest in an unanticipated, unpredictable type of inheritance at this time as well. And anyway, and also it might be a time where you might be feeling or thinking about maybe making like a Uranus type legacy, such as being a humanitarian, being selfless, future-oriented, a person that can be very innovative, but yet very eccentric or unorthodox. Next thing up, Neptune will still be in Pisces, so the 6th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted at this time. In some cases, this could be about the dissipation or dissolving of one's physical health. It could be that perhaps some health issues might be rather nebulous or unclear. It could be about an inadvertent chemical assimilation could affect one's health at this time. A chemical spill at work could take place, and it could be an accident related to that, especially say this is making an adverse aspect to your natal Mars in your chart. People in the daily routine may be somewhat obscure or nebulous. Situations at employment may be somewhat chaotic. And also, too, you might find yourself doing something employment related that could be Neptune related, such as something with the metaphysical, which includes astrology, chemistry, photography, um, poetry, dancing. It could also be a time too where you might have more day-to-day diversions and more diversions in your daily routine. This could be about a lot of self-sacrifice, perhaps in service to others. And also, too, could be where you might be dealing with some employees that might be more deceptive and duplicitous than usual. Could be about maybe distorted or imagined health-related issues, or even something. Remember, when you're talking about Neptune energy, it could be more lethargic. It could be making them a little bit more lethargic than usual, and you might feel more like fantasizing and daydreaming regarding sixth house matters as opposed to actually doing it, and especially if this is making an adverse aspect to your Sun, your Mars, or Ascendant. It could also be about health-related issues that are Neptune-related, such as something with the lymphatic system, the toes, or even the feet. Hold on a moment. Last but not least, Pluto will be in Capricorn. Still, of course, so the fourth house is what we emphasized and highlighted. And I know a lot of you don't want me to say the dreaded D word, but you know I'm going to anyway. In some cases, this could be about the actual, literal death, perhaps, of the less dominant parent, which is often the mother, a home or family member, someone you're close to home with, somebody that might have figured prominently maybe in your traditions. It could, or foundations even. It could also be about upheavals and power struggles on the home front and control issues with these people at home. It could be also digging deep into your roots, your traditions, and also your ancestry, and also perhaps who you are at the core. Now, at this time, too, this could be about the obliteration or destruction of foundations or traditions, but it could be about replacing them with something else because Pluto's about transformation. This could be about a time, too, where you might expect certain fallibility from your family members, the less dominant parent, and those you're close to home with at this time, and also about expressing perhaps Pluto foundations, such as the ability to regenerate, to transform, to recreate, and really having control perhaps in your life as an example. And it could be at this time too. Another way, this could also be, or maybe Pluto traditions at this time might be expressed, such as something with the occult, astrology, the supernatural, or something connected, even with just going around, just digging deep, really maybe just searching for things, something, doing something connected with, finding things, searching for the unknown. You could just simply be going around with a metal detector and looking for lost coins. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for my Libra July 2019 horoscope forecast part 2 of 2. Stay tuned. Next time I'll be giving you my Scorpio July 2019 horoscope forecast part 1 of 2. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel, and secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all her components in her natal chart and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.